this episode of Dolce Vita, let's check out fun ways to spend a weekend with your closest pals. Celebrate the city's long-forgotten businesses through paintings. Learn everything about chocolate making. And explore the world of musical theater.
Lena, we've known each other for so many years, but we never had a chance to travel together.
That's a terrible excuse. Just because we can't fly doesn't mean we can't still hang out.
Well, since we can't go on a vacation, what about we turn a vacation into a staycation?
Hong Kong people are constantly up and running, but as the saying goes, work hard, play harder. So when we're on a staycation, just allow yourself to disconnect from work completely and immerse yourself in luxury.
Going on a staycation, the most important thing has to be the quality of the room because we spend most of our time in the room.
I totally agree. Chilling out in a refined and spacious room is awesome.
Another thing is the view. I love the Hong Kong cityscape view and I can never get enough of the view of Victoria Harbour.
I knew it. This is exactly why I picked this room for us. There is no better time to do a staycation than now, since we can't go on holiday. Let's pamper ourselves with lunch by the poolside, followed by a spa and a relaxing evening in.
That sounds amazing. I totally agree. Now is the perfect time to catch up with the girls and have a girls' night in with some pillow talk.
A relaxed atmosphere is the most important element that will help you unwind. So for a perfect staycation, why not spoil yourself in a cozy room with a stunning harbor view? That way, you can truly recharge your body and take the time to rejuvenate your mind and soul.
You know, Joyce, I think this stunning harbor view is something I'll never get tired of. If we have drinks and girl talk here, I could stay the whole day in this room.
I know this room is super comfy, but I don't think we should stay here the whole day. What about let's go to the poolside to have a drink and then indulge in a spa?
Sounds good.
Take your staycation to the next level by enjoying a therapeutic spa treatment. Since our fast-paced lifestyle doesn't allow us a lot of time to truly relax, we can all use some holistic treatments to cleanse and heal the body to release stress from our minds. Nestled in the heart of the hectic city, the pool is a haven of tranquility. Make a splash and enjoy some fun in the sun. And you'll realize living in the city doesn't necessarily mean feeling stressed all the time.
You know, one of my favorite things to do whenever I travel anywhere is to always make time to visit the pool, even if I'm not swimming, even if it's just to have a drink or sunbathe, because I think it really elevates my mood.
Well, I don't think a leisure holiday is complete without a healing spa treatment. You know, when you go to the spa, whether it's the lighting or the treatment itself, you just come out feeling more relaxed, calm, and you're basically glowing.
Wow, cozy room, the pool, the spa, what a fulfilling day.
Not enough. We also have to enjoy the gourmet dishes here.
I love that I can have the option of having in-room dining served right here in my room. It makes me feel right at home, but with Michelin-starred food.
It's like fine dining in a cozy way, also with added privacy. Let's dig in.
Before the staycation frenzy, enjoying brunch and having a shopping spree were some of the most popular activities to fill the weekends with the girls. After all, being able to enjoy the better things in life with your besties is the key to any girls' day out. And since it doesn't look like any of us will be traveling anytime soon, why not enjoy Lux City Staycation with your friends if you need a change of scenery?
When we talk about old Hong Kong, what springs to your mind? Rickshaws on the streets or grocery shops in the alley? From a small fishing village to an international financial center, Hong Kong has gone through a lot of changes and some old businesses are disappearing. But that doesn't mean that those bygone years are not worth remembering. Hi Liz.
Hi Janice.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Can you tell me the inspiration behind this exhibition?
There are different unique businesses evolved and emerged from that time. But because of the rapid developments, some of those industries are disappearing and gradually being forgotten. So that's our major initiative, creating the exhibition.
I can see that you have showcased a variety of artworks from different artists. Can you give me an overview?
And the exhibition will bring together 4 artists to celebrate the Hong Kong's old businesses. Their creations of seemingly ordinary and everyday Hong Kong scenes take viewers on a journey through the city's history. Will help to build a bridge from past to present and connect people with these old businesses, allowing their stories to live on.
And what do you expect the audience to take from this exhibition?
We hope people can record old days as well as find a way to look forward to the future. And as part of the exhibition, we also host related lectures. And there will also be a special event, a blowing sugar performance.
Art has the power to make ordinary things extraordinary. Art is always glamorous. A painting can also express strong emotions and even bring you back to the old days.
Hi, Cassian. I really love your collection. And can you tell me more about how do you introduce old Hong Kong businesses through your paintings?
I paint in various different styles, and this particular set of paintings, I use an allegorical tradition, like similar to the Renaissance painters, where it tells an actual story. And so different elements, visual elements in the paintings, like hairstyles or the style of dress or certain businesses, are clues to what era is actually taking place in. And also the old businesses are sort of in the background of the work. So you can tell by, for example, like the different stores and different industries that might be represented.
It's really interesting, so colorful. I love the color, the use of color also. I know you left Hong Kong to Canada when you were only 5, and how does that background influence your work?
When I first arrived in Canada, it was a big culture shock for me. But as I got older, I realized that I really cherished my roots in Hong Kong. I really missed Hong Kong. But at the same time, Canada, being a very liberal society, it taught me a lot about opening up my mind and seeing things from different perspectives. And so I hope that type of idea resonates through my work, and that's what really influences me. Like it's this synergy between the West and the East, pulling at each other.
And can you also tell me, what kind of message do you want to represent through your artworks?
Well, I try to be very positive. I hope that by just looking at some happy paintings, you could take the audience away from their troubles for just even a little bit, then I would be very happy.
So how would you describe your painting?
On a very superficial level, I use very bright colors and very kind of funny, cartoonish characters. I think that just aesthetically it is easier for the audience to accept the painting. And then when they look even deeper, they will find the narrative in the painting and understand what the actual story is.
And is there any one piece that you think the visitors shouldn't miss?
Yes, I think the group of paintings is an interesting representation of my whole philosophy towards art. Actually, every window in the piece has a story going on inside, and I hope that the viewer of the painting could form their own story by looking at all the different windows and through their own personal experiences, make the connections in their mind and make the story that is very personal to them.
Yes, I love that piece too. I can totally relate to it. Though everyone sees Hong Kong in a different perspective, there's one thing in common: bright colors. Like the artworks here, the use of dazzling colors is a faithful representation of how fascinating this city is. And this exhibition simply reminds me that there's always more for me to discover in my beloved hometown.
After the break, see how a cacao pod turns into your favorite treat. And experience the captivating power of music theater.
There is two things, in my opinion, that make a good chocolate. One is the selection of the ingredients, and two will be a good fermentation of the cacao.
Be it a chocolate bar, chocolate cake, or a cup of hot chocolate, everyone loves chocolate, but not everyone knows how exactly the magical treat is made. Perhaps you've already learned that chocolate comes from the cocoa bean, but do you know how the cocoa is harvested, transported, and then eventually transformed into the wonder of chocolate? Well, Chef Ricardo has the answer. So Chef Ricardo, can you share with us why did you choose this specific type of cocoa pods to make your chocolate dishes?
First of all, cacao, in our opinion, is a very good representative of the Latin American cuisine in terms of dessert. So we decided to bring these cacao pods from Ecuador. And yeah, we definitely choose to have in-house Trinitario cacao, which is a variety of cacao that is a blend between Criollo and Forastero, two very well-known varieties of cacao in Latin America.
So they must be very high quality for you to choose this specific variety.
Yeah, it's very high quality. Ecuador also is one of the only countries in Latin America that export the fresh pods. So we are lucky enough to have it in Hong Kong.
Chocolate is widely considered to be the perfect mood booster that makes you happier. If you like to enjoy a piece of chocolate every now and then the production process is definitely worth your attention. Now, can you walk us through the process of how you start from a cocoa pod to a chocolate dish?
Yeah,
how do you harvest it?
It's very interesting, actually. I have this one for you that we opened before. If you see, this is how it looks inside a cocoa pod, and basically the process starts here. It's a choose of a fresh cocoa pod where we're gonna take all the pieces out, and all these pieces, which is the beans that you have here that you can see, those beans we're gonna ferment it for around 5 to 7 days in-house in our restaurant, and after that fermentation we're gonna dry them, we're gonna roast them, we're gonna peel them, and then we're gonna grind them with a little bit of sugar. So let's say that the cacao itself is a process that until you add sugar, you don't call it chocolate.
Right.
So here we're not in front of chocolate, we're in front of cacao, the fruit, or cocoa. So basically, the moment we add sugar on the machine, then we can call it chocolate.
Ah, I see. So why not just harvest them fresh and cook them fresh? Why do you have to ferment them?
So fermentation is going to add a lot of complexity to the chocolate, the end result.
Okay.
So fermentation, I always call fermentation, is a beautiful metaphor. It's a dialogue between the human and the food. But then through the fermentation, we're gonna wake up aromas, and also we're gonna give a little bit of acidity. We're gonna get rid of a little bit of sugars that we don't want there. So fermentation in the chocolate is very, very important. So a good fermentation and a good product, of course, is gonna give you different aromas in the end result of the chocolate.
Wow, that's a lot of steps. You said you have to peel them, you have to dry them, roast them, ferment them. Why don't you just do it in a factory where you can mass produce that?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it in your kitchen?
I have that question many times, why you don't buy chocolate? I cannot buy this one. That's the main reason I cannot buy my own chocolate. But the most beautiful thing is that it makes sense to us because we are from Latin America. The cuisine that we do in the restaurant, myself, I'm from Venezuela, I know how to treat this product. So it gives another dimension to the dessert. And also, it allows us to share with the guests that come to our table where the chocolate comes from. Not everybody knows that the chocolate comes from this fruit. And it's a beautiful reaction of all our guests when they saw the fruit, when they see the fruit and we talk and we walk them through the process, how they appreciate even better the chocolate. It's something that we all use and we all know, but we bring it to another dimension with this sharing of knowledge and history also that we have with them.
So can you tell us more about your chocolate dishes?
In Latin American cuisine, chocolate is being seen not only in a dessert point of view, but also in some dishes, savory dishes. Like the one I want to show you is the mole. The mole is a recipe that we do in the restaurant since we open. Actually, it's a sauce that one of the main ingredients of that sauce is chocolate and cacao. So that recipe is very important for us. We serve it with our signature dish, is the foie gras. So it's a French foie gras that we do grill, and we serve with that condiment that has 21 ingredients. One of those is the chocolate, and then the dessert. Our dessert is very simple in presentation, but you have a very difficult technique, which is a dessert that takes around 15 days to be done.
Wow, there's so much steps that go into making something that when you come to eat it, you really want to make sure you enjoy it properly. So how would you suggest, pairing your chocolate dishes? Like with good company, of course. What type of wines? Like how would you suggest?
One of my first things that I say to my guests, enjoy it, go little by little and think about it. But also, if you want to go more technique to the degustation of the chocolate, I will always suggest to go with a rum. You know, a really nice rum from Latin America, Venezuelan rum, will be matched very good with our dessert of chocolate. Or if you want to be a little bit more classic, you can go for a sweet wine that goes very, very well as well with our chocolate.
Wow, I learned so many new things today. You opened my eyes. Like I've never actually seen a cocoa pod before. So thank you for showing that to us and sharing that with me.
Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Many cities around the world are known for musical theater. New York has Broadway, London has the West End. When I lived in New York, I would catch a Broadway show once in a while, but what I really liked was off-Broadway or off-Broadway. You don't get the glamorous sets or the big production, but what you did get was a chance to get up close with the actors, and sometimes you can feel them running by you or even hear their breath, which was kind of cool. When we talk about musical theater, Hong Kong is probably not one of the cities that come to mind. However, here in our city, there are actually a lot of people who are very passionate about music as well as musical theater production.
Driven by his passion for musicals, Mark moved from Australia to Hong Kong to pursue his dream of working in the performing arts industry. Besides creating and directing his own musicals, he also wants to pass his passion on to the next generation.
Hi Mark, good to see you.
Great to see you too, Desmond.
I want to ask you, why have you decided to direct musicals in English here in Hong Kong?
Well, I've always been interested in directing. My favorite performing arts form is musical theatre, so I would say that's probably what I'm most passionate about.
And you have decided to focus on youth. Why is that?
Youth are our future. As a director, a creator, as an educator, I'm trying to leave a legacy for Hong Kong, for humanity. If you try to influence the youth, they can influence generations to come as well.
As the variety of music productions continue to grow, more people are starting to appreciate theater art. When it comes to stage performance, an old Chinese saying goes, it takes 10 years of practice for 1 minute of glory on the stage. To explore the world of musicals, you've got to talk with the performer.
Tell us about musical theater. How did you come onto this journey, and what is it about musicals that you like?
So what I like about musicals is that it doesn't solely focus on singing, acting, or dancing. It focuses on all three. When I was 9 years old, so my parents' friends introduced me to Mr. Sanderson's first musical. I got quite a major role, and then that's how I started my journey of musicals.
Were there any things that you had to overcome?
I think my biggest challenge was always dancing because I'm not a very good dancer, and how I overcame it is that every time I practice the dance moves a lot until I can memorize it and I'm familiar with the dance moves.
Doing musicals in English here in Hong Kong, has that brought you any benefits?
Doing a musical based on Hong Kong helps me learn more about the history of Hong Kong, as well as it's interesting how the setting of this, especially this play, is in a place that I'm familiar with and I've lived in for the past years of my life.
Do you find that musicals have given you skills that you might not have otherwise picked up in just normal school?
It's definitely taught me how to be more confident in life. It helps me in interviews. It helps me know how to think faster. And I think, yeah, it's definitely helped me in that way.
Well then, tell us, what are the most fulfilling things about directing musical theater for youth, and also what are the challenges?
To really educate children, you really have to understand them. In terms of the children, very big changes you see. For example, we do the musical and they might forget a cue, they might forget a line, they might forget very simple things or very important things. As a director, I would say to them, don't let me see this again. And then you will see in the next rehearsal, they are perfect, they are on spot. And you see them ready and they really want to do their best. The rewarding moment is when you see them change. And they're really confident in being honest in your communication, and they're engaged in becoming a better version of themselves as well.
Now tell us, do you have any tips on how you spot talent?
How to spot the initial talent is enjoyment. Sometimes we can't explain why we enjoy certain things. And I think performing in front of people is very different to enjoying the thing, enjoying singing and dancing. That could be the first step. Now, if they want to perform this, they have to learn how to communicate with the choreographer, with the director, lots of rehearsals. It's very different from singing at home and dancing at home and enjoying that. Sometimes doing it on stage in front of people, where people are judging you sometimes as well, is a very stressful environment. Sure. So, first of all, the enjoyment, and second of all, do they want to be challenged that way and want to perform?
It was a delight to be able to sit in on rehearsals today. Musical theater combines so many elements. There's singing, there's dancing, there's acting, and on top of all of that, of course, there's storytelling. And it really challenges the performer. What I like most about musical theater is the emotions it conjures up. Because it's a live audience and live actors, there's an interaction of emotions that you don't get in other media, such as movies. Watching children perform is especially meaningful. You saw a whole range of ages in there. There's one little girl, super cute, who is 6 years old, all the way to the teenagers, and you can see that this form of art is having an impact on their lives, whether it's building language skills, confidence building, or being able to express themselves. So all in all, a very nice afternoon.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you want to find out more about what we have introduced, remember to log on to our website. In the coming weeks, indulge in the sweet life with us. Take pleasure in gourmet food from around the world. Explore fun and effective ways to stay healthy and look gorgeous. Keep up with the latest trends in every aspect of life and connect with inspiring people from different backgrounds. Be sure to tune in again next time.